Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Thursday, November 13th. 1 week until Kirby Air Riders. 3 weeks until Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Around 140 days until the Super Mario Galaxy movie. 1 week since we've all been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. 1 day since we had the Super Mario Galaxy movie direct. Dang, lots of cool things that just happened, that are happening now, and that are going to happen in the near future, huh? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing well. Let me open up the chat, see who's here today already. And let's have a fun video game discussion. That just happened. How are you all doing this morning? Hopefully you're enjoying the weather, whatever weather that might be, wherever you are, or some nice gaming. Maybe you're playing Pokemon Legends ZA. Maybe you're playing Ghost of Yote. Perhaps Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which is what I was doing just a moment ago. Super fun game. Super fun. All right. Let's see who's already here. First up, we've got Crazy Scoth. What's up, Crazy Scoth? Good to see you here. Small Little Man says hello. Hello there. Pokemon Fan 34, hi. Trudging through work, would rather be playing Age of Imprisonment. Yeah, I don't blame you, Crazy Scoth. Time that I'm streaming is time that I'm not playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. But it's okay, because I enjoy talking to you all. I enjoy this community, and this is a different type of fun. But dang, I gotta say, Hyrule Warriors just keeps pulling me back in. I want more. Probably the last super cool thing I did. I mean, everything is cool, but every once in a while, there's like a whole another new element of fun. That's like, wow. I don't want to give spoilers away, but it had to deal with a question mark. That character and a new gameplay mechanic. Did you watch the new Pokopia trailer? No, but I thought that we could do that today, possibly, depending on how long it is. I do see that another one has dropped, so maybe we'll do that. Is the Age of Calamity performance that bad? Not at all. I want to play it before Imprisonment, but I'm worried the performance will ruin it. Man, okay. First of all, I'll get back to that in a moment, Small Little Man. Kong Donk, hi. Welcoming more people in the chat. And Steak 1024, hi there. 4 minutes says Pokemon Fan 34. Okay, maybe we'll do that. That's a possibility. But to get to you, Small Little Man, I thought that Age of Calamity was so fun that it was a serious contender for Game of the Year back in 2020. In such a high demand year, because we had Age of Calamity, Hades, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and gosh, I want to say there was something else. There was like 6-7 heavy hitters in 2020. Thought it was awesome. Awesome year for gaming. And I gave it to Hades in the end, but Calamity was so good that I was really thinking, gosh, maybe it. And then in 2021, by the time the game got DLC, I was like, oh my gosh, there's even more now. Maybe I could retroactively give it the win, but I still stuck to Hades because I was like, is it fair that the DLC later could change the old opinion? I mean, maybe not, but it's up there. It's up there being a tremendous game, super fun. And I, for one, had no problems with the frame rate. Like, it didn't bother me, but I'm very non frame rate sensitive in the first place. I played through the entire Doom 2016 game, which was in 2017 when it was released on Nintendo Switch, and loved it. Meanwhile, on the Xbox One X, I had Doom 2016 running, and I even did this like video comparison back in the day on YouTube. And I'm like, it's like no difference for me. I could tell a little bit of difference in the visual clarity from that perspective, but in the frame rate and stuff, this running at 30, this running at 60. A smooth 30 is a smooth 30, a smooth 60 is a smooth 60. Yeah, one is better, but honestly, I am not a stickler for frame rates as long as it's smooth. And it's such a huge action-paced game when there's so many special effects and stuff like that. Little frame rate drop or small chug isn't even noticeable for me. So that kind of stuff doesn't bother me when it's like, oh my gosh, a frame dropped once every blue moon. The story, the music, the gameplay, the graphics, the sound design, the special effects, the two-player aspect, so much fun, the voice acting, the progression, the level of empowerment, the variety in moves, and the amount of hours of fun that I got, how packed it was, the building up of your weapons into making yourself truly powerful. That all weighed in so much more than occasional frame rate drip when the action gets really crazy. I mean, I played so much of that game in two-player co-op and still didn't bother me. So for what it's worth, I totally recommend Age of Calamity. If you're someone that is really sensitive to frame rate drops and gets bothered by it, then maybe playing it on Nintendo Switch 2 will be better than on Nintendo Switch because things get buffed up a little bit by default, even if it doesn't have like the Super Mario Odyssey approach where it's a patch built for it. So I recommend it. Joyce J, hey Paul, hey y'all, playing some Age of Imprisonment during my break. In the background, heck yeah, such a good game. It's such a good game. I've been playing more and more last night and this morning, right up until now, pretty much. And yeah, it's a Game of the Year contender for me. I thought it would be, but I was like, well, I need more than like 3-4 hours to say it fairly, because the other games on my list, I've put in a lot more time. But yeah, it's a contender for sure. Love it. Crazy Scoth. It did dip into the teens on the Switch 1. I was able to look past it because I had so much fun. It's such a fun game, Calamity, that, yeah, nothing held me back from enjoying that experience. I believe most Switch 1 games play better on Switch 2 without a specific update. Yes, true. I told Nintendo Prime you should be a regular on the podcast when it's not booked up. I think you add a lot to it, and it was amazing. So hopefully we will see you more on the podcast. That was to Joyce J from Pokemon Fan 34. I just read it because it happened to be a long post. I said something to him on Discord. Okay, I played Age of Imprisonment a lot lately. Nice, Mario Master. And hello, too. Working on beating Legend ZA before the DLC comes out. Cool. Egomaniac 87, sorry. Yo, what's up? Did you beat Ghost of Yotei yet? No, small little man, not yet. I'm progressing quite nicely. Actually, I did something kind of fun. I tend to I tend to do this sometimes in my open world games where I like to go off too far from where I start, explore a little bit beyond where I should be able to go, fight enemies a little bit more difficult, and then sometimes get a weapon further along than I would have normally encountered it, that I could then come back to where I'm at now and just have more fun wrecking enemies and have more variety and options. So I've put in a lot of hours in Ghost of Yotei. I wonder how many at this point. But no, I haven't beaten it. I haven't killed all of the Yote 6. Certain things probably I could say that wouldn't be a spoiler to the chat. Certain things might be. Mm, but I've encountered quite a few characters in the story. Have some good armaments. Have all 4 weapon spots here, plus the top one there. Both bows, maxed out bows in terms of their strength and their arrows, the different arrow types, the quantity that I could hold, some other things that I can throw, a couple of those things. Story's great, gameplay's great, voice acting's great. Yeah, Ghost of Yote is legit. Looks beautiful, super cinematic. Man, it's one of the best games of the year, just like Ghost of Tsushima was one of the best in 2020. Yeah, it seems like 5 years is a pretty appropriate amount of time for a big team to be working on a game and deliver some tremendous results, you know? Though it may take longer as games get bigger, as developers have more time, more tools, more resources, more money, bigger budgets, more folks working on them to create, future masterpieces. You might be looking at, 7-8 year development cycles for the big AAA budget $250 million titles, like going into the next generation or something. Personally, when it comes to Nintendo, I am on board with Nintendo taking their time and delivering absolutely remarkable, this is a contender for best game ever made type experiences with Zelda and Mario. You could take your 8 years, and even though that's like, oof, you might only get one big 3D Zelda or one big 3D Mario per generation. If you got a remake at some point in the gen, a smaller 3D entry, a grand 2D entry, that could be enough. I would like to see, though, 2 3D Zeldas, 2 3D Marios per gen. If you're going to go with 8 years as a generation, I would really love to see 2 of each. But if it's one grand one per, a remake of another 3D one in between, and a 2D one elsewhere, I could live with that, if that one 3D one is like game of the all-time contendership, right? Anyhow, all that from, did I beat Ghost of Yote yet? No. Also, do you think we will get Pokemon Coliseum or Paul Gale of Darkness this month or next for the GameCube NSO? Going to will it into happening, LOL. I think so. I still think that since Nintendo showed it off early enough when they did, that before the end of the year, we will get one of the 2. Right now, there are how many? 6? Excuse me. Luigi's Mansion, Chibi Robo. Oh. F-Zero, Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2. Something else that I'm missing. There are like 6 or 7. By the end of the year, the Nintendo Switch 2 will have been out for a total of 7 calendar months. If they satisfy 7 Nintendo GameCube games in the first 7 calendar months of the Nintendo Switch 2's release, of availability, I should say, I think that'd be fine. So I think the next logical step is Pokemon. One of those 2 Pokemons. Yeah. Besides, people at Nintendo, you can make it happen. Let's get these likes up. Thank you. I don't know if I can commit to every Wednesday, but where there is Zelda, there I will be. Yeah. Regarding the podcast. Yeah, last night's podcast, I was tuning in here and there. It was fun. It was good to see you on there, Joycey J. Mario Master, Game of the Year will be Prime 4, and I hope you will get 7K before it comes out. I like the way you're thinking, Mario Master. 7K before it comes out. Hmm, that might happen. It's wild because at one point it was like, okay, maybe 5,500 by the end of the year. No, geez, hit 5,500 fast. Okay, maybe like 6,000? Dude, hit 6,000. Maybe 6,400 by December 4th. Already hit that. So, not to be presumptuous, but the channel is accelerating faster than I anticipated. And that's been really nice. The streams are going great. The shorts are going great. Countdown series is fun. Getting really close. 3 weeks is all that's left for the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond one. Gaming history is something that's, ongoing. I've been really enjoying that. And yeah, I guess that's why the growth is happening, and 7,000 might happen by Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but if it doesn't, like I said, not to be presumptuous, but I think 7,000 is going to happen by January 1st. We'll see. Mobile stats, hello. No, so Metroid Prime 4 Beyond doesn't come out too late to be Game of the Year contender. People are only associating it seemingly so, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are just limiting it to the Game Awards. There are many other outlets beyond the Game Awards. IGN, GameSpot, Joystick, Kotaku, GameFAQs, Nintendo Life, Go Nintendo, Time Magazine, CNN, geez, I mean, you could go any kind of website, any kind of magazine, newspaper, article. Look at how many people out there review games. There's like 140 or so regular websites slash outlets of some sort that review games. That's 140 different Game of the Year contenders. Media Crate, Famitsu, Edge, Game Informer. There's a lot out there. It's just Game Awards, since they have a televised big budget, broadcasted event that this time is also going to be viewable through Amazon Prime, YouTube and all that stuff. It gets a lot of attention. Rightfully so. It's a big, nice show that also shows off a lot of trailers for games. So it holds a lot of weight, but, it's not the end-all be-all. There's also the Interactive Academy of Arts and Sciences, DICE. There's a lot. So, no. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond being a December 4th release omits it from the Game Awards, but not from, everyone else. And I think it will probably be the best game of the year. I have a feeling. Might not win everyone's Game of the Year, but I think it will probably be the best made game that comes out this year. I had to take a break from Ghost for Age of Imprisonment. Yeah, Crazy Scott. Oh, have I played Ghost of Yotei the last week? I don't know. I might not have. It's been a lot of Age of Imprisonment. Maybe I've played it once in the last week. But yeah. We have so many good games right now, I think Switch 2 Welcome Tour will win GOTY. You know what? It's definitely up there in top contendership, small little man. $9.50 for a good 10 hours of fun. That's a pretty good ratio right there. The amount of mini games it has, the amount of features it has, the satisfaction in doing weird stuff, not even weird, just creative stuff. Here, let's test your observational awareness abilities in approximating angles with the Nintendo Switch 2 kickstand. And can you replicate this 45-degree angle? Can you replicate this? What do you think 67 is? Cool stuff like that. Or playing through the original Super Mario Brothers in its original resolution on a 4K screen. Or finding the floating pixel around the screen. All that stuff is so awesome. Welcome Tour doesn't get enough credit. People dismissed it. Oh, it should be included. It should be included. Should it be included or not? Arguable. Would it have been nice to? Would it have been really convenient? Yes. But is it worth $10? Absolutely. It's fun. Game of the Year contender? You got it. Probably will win? Probably. Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 release day for Switch 2 today. Yeah, that's another one. And we got the Octopath Traveler 0 demo today. Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem, and Pokemon games from the trailer. Are you getting Kirby Air Riders day one? I definitely will. It's so chaotic. I might. I actually don't have it pre-ordered yet. The only... Oh, but there's also... See, so I'm like... I want to, and I should pre-order it, and I should pick it up day one. But I don't know if I will because I've got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on the horizon, and I also have Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Excuse me. Two very different types of games. One's going to be a four of us play on the couch kind of family fun game. And then one's going to be a, boy, we're taking turns playing through Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on our different accounts. While I still have Ghost of Yote. And comparable yet different fun to Kirby Air Riders in Mario Kart World. So, I mean, I have the demo still, and it plays really well, and it's such a fun game and so chaotic, really high quality. That I probably should get it. And worst case scenario, it's like Pokemon Legends ZA where I've got like 3 hours into it, and it just is something that I have, but am not playing as much as I should yet. Because like Legends ZA, I own it. I've only got like 3-4 hours into it, and I feel kind of bad, but I will play it eventually, you know? Let's see. David Patterson is here. Hello there. I mean, when you make 5 history videos a day, it will help with channel growth. Yeah, mobile stats, that's true. Some videos do bring in a lot of subscribers. Like, there are certain videos where, like, 57, 70 something people subscribed from that one short. So that's quite a bit. Then there are some that, you know, get 0 new subscribers or 1 or 3. And, yeah, that's all good. Crazy Scott. Okay, I'm going silent. Driving home from work. Drive safe, Crazy Scott. But nobody talks about anything other than the Game Awards, sadly. I wouldn't say nobody does that, but the Game Awards definitely is talked about a lot. 10,000 Noodles, welcome. Like the stream where the dolphin gets it. Yeah, you laugh if it wins, but watch. Welcome Tour's gonna win. David Patterson, good afternoon. ZA is the best-selling game of 2025, apparently. Yeah, Sweet Tea. I mean, maybe it'll hit 10 million before the end of the year. I gotta look into where it's at right now. I could probably find out close to where it's at right now, or where it's at as of like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Legends ZA, big selling game. Octopath Traveler. Those are the 4 games left coming to GameCube. Corny Puddle, hello there. Yvonne Francois, hi. Has the Mario Kart World sold more than Legends ZA? Yeah. Including bundled in? Yeah. Unless if it has not. It is possible that Pokemon Legends ZA has topped it. Then again, there's topped globally, and topped in the United States. You know what I mean? Two different things. Circana, if they're reporting that Pokemon Legends ZA is the best-selling game of the year, they're reporting it as the best-selling game in North America, U.S. sales. But Mario Kart World could be the best-selling of the game globally in the year, as it is also bundled in with Nintendo Switch 2. So, both statements could be true. Pokemon Legends ZA, best-selling game of the year, asterisk, in the United States, or North American sales, standalone sales. And Mario Kart World, best-selling game in terms of total quantity of units out there in the world, globally, including bundled in. So both statements could be true. Speaking of sales, let's check out this video game sales for the week, yeah? This is for the week of November 3rd through November 9th in Japan. Courtesy 1964 Chris from Install Base Forum. I said that weird. Chris 1964 posted this up on Install Base Forum. And the number one best-selling game of the week was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, with physical only 73,183 copies sold. Pokemon Legends ZA moved 54,904 copies. Mario Kart World with 54,413. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake on Nintendo Switch with 32,682. Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, 29,662 on Nintendo Switch 2, of course. In 6th, the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, which moved 13,011 units. In 7th, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake for PS5, which did 10,261. In 8th, Donkey Kong Bonanza on Nintendo Switch 2, which did 8,378 copies. In 9th, old school one right here, Animal Crossing New Horizons on Nintendo Switch did 5,422 copies. And in 10th, Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV on Nintendo Switch 2, moving 5,356 copies. Nintendo Switch 2 had 6 games of that list on the top 10. Nintendo Switch had 3, PlayStation 5 had 1. When you look at the combined sales of something like Pokemon Legends ZA, nearly 55,000 on the base NS and nearly 30,000 on the NS2, that's 85,000 copies of Pokemon in that week. Excellent. Physical only. Awesome. When you look at Dragon Quest, it's kind of interesting because you've got the base NS version with almost 33, and on NS2, 13. That's a good 46,000 copies of the game compared to 10,000 on PS5. 56,000 overall for the week, though. Pretty strong for Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Let's read the chat before we get back into the sales as we go into hardware. Nintendo's All-Stars is here. Hi, everyone. Tabby Cat Games is here. Sorry that you're late. No worries. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. Kong Donk, if we have time later, maybe can we review an article on how hackers are ruining Pokemon Legends ZA? We could maybe look into that. Nintendo's All-Stars, just saw that you're here with a hello, and now you're here with a big $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Nintendo's All-Stars. I am on break. Can't hardly wait for Kirby Air Riders. Heck yeah. Thank you so much for the super generous $10. That's an amazing, excellent yellow image that popped up on my screen. It's a fine color. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kirby's Air Riders is just 7 days away. Isn't that wild, Nintendo's All-Stars? What a year it's been. Think of that first Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. All the way back on April 2nd. April 1st? Yeah. And seeing these little glimpses of games. We barely got Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment in that direct, and like, boom, it just came out. We barely got Kirby Air Riders in that direct, and then boom, it's almost out. The turnaround time has been so nice. And Air Riders is so much fun. I don't know if my kids played the demo. They watched me play it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Like, I think a lot of people, Nintendo's All-Stars, are going to, and everybody, I think a lot of people are going to pick up Kirby Air Riders. I mean, we even polled folks here in previous polls and previous live streams. Did that direct sway you? Yes. Did that second direct sway you more? Yes. And evidently, even more folks after the play test were like, yeah, actually. Or maybe not completely, yeah, I'm going to buy it, but you know what? I'm thinking about it. I do want to buy it, but I don't know if I will be getting it day one, just because like I'm barely hanging in there with the playtime that I have for Age of Imprisonment, Ghost of Yote, anticipating Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, my big one, Like I said, worst case scenario, I just buy Air Riders and don't play it as much as I should early on, like Legends ZA. But I am glad that you're stoked for it, and thank you so much once again for that super generous, awesome $10 super chat. That puts you 5 away from Michael Hall's top spot for November. We got some awesome contributions this month, and already in this stream. Thanks a lot. I was promised Doom. This doesn't sound like Doom. No way, it definitely does not. Definitely does not. Said that funny. Oh, man. W Super Chat, yes. Let's see, what else? Almost ready to put that PC together. Cool. City Trial is so good. I'm not fully sold on the Air Ride mode yet, though. I will probably be better online. It's okay. We're still doing Sunday. Yeah, Tabby Cat Games. Make sure that you promote the next live stream of yours. Tell people the when and the where, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. Drop your channel name. Plug away, Go do it. Tsukino Ame, I am on Chapter 5 in Age of Imprisonment. I think I am almost done with the game. Oh my gosh. You're cranking away at that. That's good, though. Like, it's a good game. Super worth it. Totally worth it. How much was it? 70? 60? I think it was 70. Worth it. Excellent. Trying to have an extra day, but now holidays are coming. Trying to make sure I'm here for it all. Yeah. This is the first year since like 2018 I've had too many games to play. It's pretty packed. We've been eating good. And the thing is, like, this isn't even gonna be the peak year, It takes a little bit of time for a new console to ramp up. I wouldn't be surprised if 2027 or something like that is the best Nintendo Switch 2 year, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be like 28 or 29. Maybe, 5 years in, it'll truly have its groove. All I know is that Nintendo Switch 2 has so much more power, and it's more powerful in respect to the year it was released than Nintendo Switch was to the year it was released, you know? Nintendo Switch was a little bit more powerful than Wii U, and it came out in 2017. Nintendo Switch 2 is far more powerful than Nintendo Switch, and with the architecture it has, plus DLSS, it's overall a more powerful, competent machine than Xbox Series S. And thanks to its DLSS and modern tech, it will last longer overall than PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, in part thanks to that DLSS and the fact that it's selling so quickly that it's going to become the primary developing place for studios. So you're going to have a long, healthy life ahead of it. And if the rumors are true, well, not even a rumor, but if Sony is being accurate with their reporting, saying we're like halfway into the PlayStation 5 life cycle. No, I don't think that means the PS6 is coming out November 2030, which would be literally the halfway part. But maybe it's not like a 26, 27. Maybe it's like November 2028, right? In which you could say, well, we're 5/8 there. That's not quite half, but yeah, I can see why they say half. The longer PlayStation 6 and Xbox 6 take to come out, the guaranteed longer Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a viable platform, because it will be the newest thing for a longer period of time, and it will be benefiting from games that are also being made on PS5 and Xbox Series, because it's unavoidable as a developer today to make games for only one platform. You know, you kind of have to put your stuff everywhere. Look what happened to Square Enix, right? We can't do this FF7 big budget game only on PlayStation. We can't do this FF16 big budget game only on PlayStation. We gotta be multi-developer, multi-platform. I mean, and they put, you know, Octopath Traveler, for instance, first on Nintendo Switch, Alive, you know, different games in that HD 2D vein, but yeah, they're bigger budget, couple $100 million or so titles, and multi-platform. We have to guarantee our success. The bag of money that we get from one studio saying, here, make this game exclusively for us, timed wise or port wise, you know, time/port wise or permanently. It's nice up front, but I think we're going to make more in the long run if we go everywhere. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have a tremendous lifetime ahead. And I think PS5 is going to continue doing well. I mean, obviously for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series and Steam, well, Steam's going to come later, GTA 6. It's not coming out on PC for a while, I think, after November 2026. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be enormous next year. Wolverine's going to be really big. I don't know if Wolverine will sell as much as Spider-Man. I don't think it will, just because I think Spider-Man is overall, one, a bigger character than Wolverine, and two, Spider-Man was rated T for teen. You have a game that's going to be rated M for mature, it will cut away some of the sales. And you might be thinking, well, what about Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that sold 212 million copies? There are certain games like Grand Theft Auto, God of War, Call of Duty, to an extent Resident Evil, that will sell very, very well regardless of the rating. But superhero game, I think Wolverine's going to sell very well, but just probably less than Spider-Man. But we'll see. I'm stoked for it. Xbox is going to be interesting in 2026. Because you don't have Perfect Dark anymore. And all of your games are just going to be coming out everywhere. Let's see. You are the man. I appreciate you. I am going to YouTube. I'm going to YouTube putting PC together. You're gonna YouTube how to put your PC together? Okay. Well, good luck. Have fun. Oh, you're gonna put it on YouTube. You're gonna share on YouTube. You like live streaming putting your PC together. That's cool. That should be have fun. My thumb hurts when I play Age of Imprisonment too much. LOL. I use the Zonai items to help me win fast. That's cool. Did you see the Steam Machine console? Yeah. Mobile stats. Good point. I saw the Steam Machine. That's gonna be another interesting player. Valve, I mean, used to make Counter-Strike, Half-Life, Portal, Half-Life 2, obviously, Team Fortress, big on first-person shooters in that PC world, the Orange Box. They tried a Steam Machine back in the day, didn't work. They had more success with Steam as an entity to play and download games. Plenty of deals, Humble Bundle support, lots of indie developers. The biggest place to play the biggest variety of titles, you know. If you're an indie game or a third party, probably you're going to be on Steam. Exclusive nature-wise, not necessarily. But Steam Deck, pretty capable, pretty competent. Didn't do anything to shatter the industry in terms of sales. It wasn't a Nintendo Switch competitor. It's not a Nintendo Switch 2 competitor. But now having a designated box, now that you've reestablished kind of the brand of what Steam is, and having this is basically a PC that we're weaving into your living room. It's about the size of a Nintendo GameCube, a little bit smaller in overall volume. It looks very much like an Amazon Fire TV Cube. It even has that blue light going down horizontally. Swappable faceplate, a little bit of elegance or variety on the visual side of things, the aesthetic for your living room or whatever. Coupled with a new controller. You've got Steam Deck as an opportunity to play with. You have a new VR piece. Can they penetrate the market enough to be another console in the sphere? Maybe. Especially with Xbox's future being kind of questionable as to, do you need to buy the next Xbox? After all, if Steam could play Xbox games, what's Xbox going to do differently? I don't think the Steam Machine is going to be like a 60 million seller kind of competitor, but I think it will sell a few million. I think it could become an 8 million selling device. Maybe it will do more. Maybe it will do significantly more. We'll see. Hello, Paul G. Dangerously. Red Dead Redemption's getting a Switch 2 upgrade/edition. That's really cool. Welcome, Tall Show. Red Dead Redemption is a good one. Getting that upgrade on NS2 is nice. What would also be more nice even is port over Red Dead Redemption 2. Take more advantage of that DLSS. Hollow Knight plus a Callus there. So Age of Imprisonment hasn't been so bad. But that would probably fall off if I try Hollow Knight. Love the Zonai items. Just poke R and use them to burn, freeze, or shock the monsters and you win. Dude, I love so many different types of pairings in that game. You just feel so crafty with your thumbs and your fingers. Boom. Pull a trigger, drop a fire. Have the fire here, aim here. Go around, pop, 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 Y, X, boom. R, Y, do an item, do a weapon, switch characters, boom, boom, boom. ZR trigger, pop. Raise up your shield, L attack, boom. Clap hands, special, boom, boom. Switch character, that character special is ready. Hit the A button, boom. Dodge out of the way, flurry attack, boom, done. Meanwhile, all these enemies in your way, getting hit by that fire or that ice or the electric. Oh, dude, it's so cool. It's so cool. Age of Imprisonment, you gotta just play it. You gotta play it. If you like Zelda, if you like RPGs, if you like good stories, good voice acting, good music, Dude, you just gotta play it. So much fun. So much fun. Sometimes my thumb hurts when I play a lot of MK World. I'm still salty about Perfect Dark being canceled. Man, tallest show, you and me both. That's a bummer. I bought Xbox 360 for Perfect Dark Zero. I mean, I bought it at launch. It happened to be a launch game. It was a good time. But I was such a big fan of Perfect Dark, a big fan of Rare. Rare moving to Xbox was not the same as it was on the SNES and N64. But Perfect Dark Zero is supposed to change things around. It was a good game. Not quite the original. But had they stuck on track, check it out. 2005, Perfect Dark Zero. Instead of abandoning it, go 5 years later and do a Perfect Dark next one, right? In like 2010. Which would have also been a late gen Xbox 360 game. Think of how good it would have looked. Think of how much they would have learned. And then another 5 years later, 2015 comes along. You now have a more reestablished franchise because instead of such a dormant wait, it's, oh no, we got a really good banger of a game on 360. Two of them, the second one better than Zero, and now partway into the Xbox One's life, here's 2015, the next Perfect Dark. Then maybe the next one, you're like, well, you know what? We've got this new console coming out. What if we really go all out and have a big exclusive for it? Instead of 2018, our Xbox One's not doing the best. Let's wait a couple more years and have the next Perfect Dark as a launch game in 2020. And if you just had these games come out once every 5-7 years, Perfect Dark, you would have had another powerhouse name. Instead, maybe there's 1.5 million Perfect Dark fans out there, and there could have been 8 million Perfect Dark fans out there. You could have made it into another one of your Gears of Wars or Halos or Forza Horizons. And you had Banjo-Kazooie this whole time. And you had Conker's Bad Fur Day this whole time. And Blast Corps. And Killer Instinct. And Battletoads. So much wealth from Rare's IP that even if it was too much to ask for Rare to be making all these games, all the different studios that you bought over the years, collaborating with third-party teams and giving them the rights and having a little bit of oversight to watch the development, and you could have really transitioned a lot of the Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, and early Nintendo GameCube fans into being Xbox gamers with a wealth of exclusives, and you probably wouldn't be looking anywhere at going third party right now if you held down the line. You bought Activision, and you would eventually, use it as a Trojan horse. Make all of these Activision games available everywhere, but then pull them back in and make them exclusive. And that includes Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and Doom, Wolfenstein, Minecraft. You pull everything that you have everywhere, you build up such a fan base, get people used to having them everywhere, and then you pull it back in and make it exclusive. Maybe that is their long-term goal. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they're going to shift for the next 10 years and be multi-console platform release, build up such a big audience and all the IP they have. Yeah, Halo. Yeah, enjoy it, PlayStation. Gears of War, Indiana Jones. Okay, Nintendo. Okay, Valve. Okay, have fun, everybody. Enjoy it. And then 12 years from now, that next console, everything that you enjoyed from Xbox Studios, boom, back in one house exclusive on the next Xbox platform. It'd be a move that a lot of people would be upset about. But you think that people wouldn't buy an Xbox for Minecraft 2? You think that people wouldn't buy an Xbox for the next Wolfenstein, for the next Call of Duty, for all those games, if everything that Microsoft owned came all the way back exclusive to them? For Crash, for Spyro, etc. But you have to make those games and release them regularly, take advantage of the IP you own to build up such a wide variety of fans that they will be willing to then buy your system after this next gen. If that's their long-time play, then they have something going for them. But I don't know if Microsoft's thinking that route. Tsukino Ame, you use the meat, eggs, ores, mushrooms to increase the experience by 30%. Yeah. Corny Puddle, I love both Red Dead Redemption games, but the first one's my favorite. That's cool. I say bring over GTA 4, 5, Liberty, and Vice City Stories. They should. 4 and 5, they gotta come over, J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. And What's Up, too. That Cameo game Rare made for Xbox looked good. Yeah, Cameo, Elements of Power, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Neither one of those sold too well, but yeah, they're pretty fun. Yes, I played Kirby Air Riders demo. I liked it a lot. Yes, I've been playing a lot of Age of Imprisonment. I like it a lot. I love it. Red Dead Redemption Remaster, 6 frames per second, comes out December 2nd. That's soon. Roger, and you're welcome, Roger. Happy Thursday to all. Just getting to work for the day. I'll be listening and lurking. Excellent, Roger. I hope you have a good day at work. Hope it goes by smoothly. And then when you come back home, you can relax and play some Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. Gamebird Classic, what's up? How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. It's a fun day so far. We went over some video game sales from Japan, the top 10. Speaking of which, we should go back into the hardware side of things. Let me get some more comments read, but then let's go over to the hardware sales. Pokemon Fan 34 says we need to get to 20 likes. Let's see, how are we doing right now? We went over some. Looks like we've got 26 people watching and 18 likes. That's a pretty good ratio right there. Ka! I read that right, I hope. Nice. You'll be playing some Age of Imprisonment tonight. Very nice. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Let's go over some hardware sales. Because we finished on software. Age of Imprisonment, best-selling game of the week. Physical alone, 73,000. Great start. In hardware for last week. Just in Japan alone, keep in mind. Nintendo Switch 2. Number 1 with 90,410 units. I love me some October, November, December sales. Every week you get these big beefy numbers. It's awesome. Wait until we get the 300,000 a week, 250,000 a week sales. If you get to like a 400,000 a week sales, you're just like, man, the magnitude, nearly 500,000 people bought that system in just that week, in just that country. Tremendous. In second place, Nintendo Switch with 23,877. 8.5 years, folks. 8.5 years old. Nintendo Switch. 23,877. For crying out loud. PS5 in third with 7,691. Xbox Series in fourth with 487. And PS4 with 16. What a week. And it's only going to get better. I'm going to be interested... Oh, I am interested, I should say. In Kirby Air Riders, how well is that going to open up in Japan? I'm also interested in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. How well is that one going to do, right? First-person adventure. Typically doesn't do banger levels in Japan, but maybe it will do all right. Hello, everyone. I'm fighting someone named question in Hyrule Warriors, and I don't know how to beat him. I keep asking, but no one answers me. JM Powers 83. Be sure you're locking on with ZL. Do your proper dodges while holding ZL, B, left and right. Get in some flurry attacks. Utilize your R with either Y, X, A, or B. I forgot if in that battle can you eat some food or do some camping level materials ahead of time or not. If not, make sure you play some of the other little side missions first to level up your characters so they are stronger going in, or in particular, that one character. Don't just go head on. Do dodge, do avoid. You could equip rations to a button if you're low on life. Yeah. You could lower the difficulty level in the game for that fight. Yeah, different possibilities. Can't wait for the Mario Galaxy movie and the Legend of Zelda movie. Oh, big time, big time. I use the Zonite items to keep burning it, but I'm playing on easy. Yeah, there you go. Like, play on easy. Just have fun. Enrique. Question. Took me a few tries. I had used all my healing rations. I kept my distance long and tedious, but eventually got it. Didn't the guy after Iwata, his name escapes my mind, say the OG Switch was supposed to last 10 years? Well, Furukawa and Kimishima both said that this is a 10-year platform. And you're looking at it. Next March, Nintendo Switch will be turning 9. And even though Nintendo has shifted focus to Nintendo Switch 2, you've got Tomodachi Life still coming out next year. There will be some more titles coming to NSO next year that the base Nintendo Switch benefits from, right? Surely some more NES, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, and then Nintendo 64 games. Just no Nintendo GameCube. But you'll also get Virtual Boy on Nintendo Switch. So that carries us into like late 2026, and then here you've got New Rhythm Heaven, Deca Police potentially, although that's third party, Professor Layton, and you're looking at wrapping things up by early 2027, and at that point you'll have some indie games, you'll still have some NSO drops, but probably no more Nintendo published titles after late 2026. Maybe something small will get released in 2027 from them. Perhaps not, but regardless, yeah, it's a 10-year development cycle. And that's why I'm saying, like, unless Nintendo stops the manufacturing lines of Nintendo Switch in Japan, the system's going to sell 160 million. The system will reach 160 million by sometime summer 2027. So original OG games will end in 2027 for Switch. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if smaller third parties and indies still make games on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, you're looking at 2030, and at that point, the system will be 13 years old. It'll still get some indie games on it. It still might get like Just Dance and other titles, annual sports games, perhaps to an extent. I'm sure plenty of 2D or indie style games will continue to go on the Switch One. Yeah, Louis, that's true. Tall Show. I just bought Red Dead Redemption Switch off of Walmart. It's at its lowest price so far. Sans VGP. The free Switch 2 upgrade should be coming to physical owners as well. Tall Show, how much is it at Walmart right now? Because that's a good plug. I take it you can't make meat arrows in Age of Imprisonment. Good point. Just Dance was on Wii for like 500 years. I can see them releasing Just Dance on the OG Switch for like 500 more years. Yeah, it's quite possible. The Switch had a good run, but it's time to focus on new hardware. Yeah, Louis. Put all of the resources on Nintendo Switch 2. If you're going to give Nintendo Switch some love, you know, if Nintendo's developing a new, like, 99 game, like Punch Out 99, you can put Punch Out 99 on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. That's fine. NSO titles, yeah, release them on everything except for GameCube, correct? In terms of first-party developed games or published games, you got a few last ones that are smaller stuff. You know, Professor Layton, Rhythm Heaven, Tamagotchi Life. Those three come to mind. Let them serve that NS crowd well. The longer Nintendo supports Nintendo Switch, the more confidence Nintendo Switch owners will have in buying a Nintendo Switch 2 because they will see, we weren't abandoned when the new console came out. That means if I'm getting the Nintendo Switch 2 a couple of years in, I'm not going to be buying a system that's already 2 or 3 years old. No, I'm buying a system that's only 2 or 3 years old that has another 5, 6, 7 years to go, right? That being said, you also have to prioritize simultaneously the Nintendo Switch 2 crowd saying, it is a good thing that I was an early adopter because I am enjoying the heck out of my system, experiencing titles that definitely wouldn't have been possible on the base system or are definitely a lot better than they would have been had I got them on that system or had they stuck to their original development plan on that system, which helps me feel good about NS2, keeps me loyal to the platform, and ensures that I will buy NS3 when it comes out. I hope Tamagotchi Life doesn't come out in March because my wallet will kill me. I better save for 2 months just in case. Yeah. Tall Show $29.83. That's a pretty good price for Red Dead Redemption. You know what? This stream hasn't had any of this right now. We got to do this. Oh boy. This is big. Let's do it. I hope it goes to someone here. Y'all better have your notifications turned on because Gale Network just sent out 5 gifted memberships. And that's a big boy. That's a big girl. That's a big one. I hope 5 of you in the chat got them. Or someone else. But you better have that ability to receive turned on because those were 5 brown belt memberships. A little bit of a specialty today. Those are pretty big because it gets you all of the perks of white belt, blue belt, and green belt. But if you have any little desire in exercise, fitness, calisthenics, bettering your body, martial arts desire, etc., once a month in that brown belt tier, you ask me here or through X, hey Paul, I have a problem with my lower back. I injured it many years ago and I'm trying to strengthen my core, but I don't want to damage my lower back in the process. And the lower back pain that I have from an old injury has kind of led to me progressively getting heavier in the gut. And I want to lose weight. What can I do that's a lower back strengthening exercise that will also help me lose weight, but that's not too cardio intensive? Boom. I process that and I make a video for you, and it's exclusive in the brown belt tier, and it's available to all brown belt members. But that other person's question of, hey Paul, I don't have a whole lot of weights available, but I've got this, and my arms are kind of flabby. Can you give me a tricep exercise? I help you out. You get that person gets yours. Everybody in the brown belt tier gets that. So if you have that type of fitness goal, that's what the brown belt tier is for. Or maybe you don't have a fitness goal, but you just want a designated video. Hey Paul, can you show me all of your amiibo? Maybe that video is for you, right? And that's in the brown belt tier. If you have no other exercise desire, that could be your video. But that brown belt tier gets you that once a month exercise video, or I guess other video. Who were the 5 recipients? Nintendo, Maradon 785, Punk and King, Suko, and PokeFan Master. Nobody who's here in the chat, but a few recognizable names. So, good to see a few... Maybe two. 2 or 3 of those 5 are familiar names that pop up in the chat now and then. Welcome to the brown belt tier. Welcome, welcome. Pokemon Fan 34 with a nice Paul Tall show with a nice dab. Louis with a wow nice. What? Says Tsukino Ame. Louis, very generous of you, Paul. Ha! You know, you all give to the stream. You help the streams flow well. You help aid to the ability for me to give back to you, like Nintendo's All-Stars donated $10 earlier today, helping our goal status out. Roger Enyart, just last week or so, donated 40 memberships. Michael Hall, just last week, had a single super chat night of $15. Plenty of other people in here right now. Pokemon Fan 34, Steak, lots of you, over time have donated. Tsukino Ame, Tabby. Almost everyone here. Even if you're watching, though. Even if you're watching, you're helping the channel. And still, it's just fun. It's fun to talk. But it's a cool community. And we have a good time. So, me helping boost up my own community in this way. Maybe one of those people who got that membership could really benefit from that exercise. Maybe it'll really help them out. They want a nice ab workout or a nice shoulder workout, or I'm kind of sedentary, I sit at my desk, or dang, I used to do martial arts and wouldn't mind getting back into it. What's a good drill? Maybe it's for you. I just got off the rowing machine and my back feels great. That's good, Louie. That's good. Can Peach videos get included? Yes, Pokemon Fan 34. That one video a month is good question. That one video a month for the brown belt tier is whatever you want, right? It's one video a month. The recommendation is take advantage of the exercise acumen that I have, the martial arts stuff. But it could be video game stuff. It could be a breakdown on a classic shirt that I have, a breakdown on a cool piece of video game Nintendo E3 memorabilia that's very unique that it's made for you. It could be hey, make a video of Peach and doing some tricks with her and showing her off in this video that's for you. And that's true. The brown belt tier includes that as well. Pokemon Fan 34, I have a feeling now that you know that, you're like, I know what I'm doing next. Brown belt tier, here I come. Let me get my Peach dancing videos in there. Hey, Peach, do you want this treat? Do you want this treat? Do you want this crusty wussy treat? This is from Pokemon Fan 34. Pokemon Fan 34 says, do you want the crusty wussy? Peach, speak. Okay. You're saying thank you? Okay. Well, you're welcome. Here you go. I can picture it now. Well, if you do consider it, well, I guess you're considerate. If you do join the tier of Pokemon Fan 34, well, thank you. Tall Show. Speaking of kicking ass with fitness, Yakuza 1 and 2 came out today for Switch 2. Yeah. That's. I hope it doesn't get lost in the excitement of, dude, Hyrule over here and Metroid coming up here and Kirby over here and stuff like that. Like, I think it'll do well. I think it'll do well. Steak 1024. Paul Gale Network. Per the Gamer, Hades 2 is the highest rated game of 2025 via OpenCritic. Two games were tied with it, but further reviews, they went down in overall rating. Hades 2 is one of my Game of the Year contenders. Absolutely. Hades won 2020's Game of the Year. I think I'm edging out Hades 2 slightly to Donkey Kong Bonanza. But Split Fiction is also way up there. Ghost of Yote is somewhere in that mix. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is in that mix. But probably Donkey Kong Bonanza is my Game of the Year so far. But Hades 2 is a masterpiece. Man alive. Hades 2 is so freaking good. And I still haven't beaten all of it, Like, I beat it, but I still have yet to get all that I want from that game, Ah, Sweet Tea, good point. Steak technically is Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition, but a new release, yes, yeah, yeah. Breath of the Wild NS2 edition, Steak, Tears of the Kingdom NS2 edition. Yeah, I won't count them as Game of the Year real nominees, Kind of like, I guess, I won't count Street Fighter 6, Nintendo Switch 2 version, as a Game of the Year contender nominee, even though it is factually one of my favorite games of the year too. Throw that right up there, But it's a 2-year-old game that happens to just be new on Nintendo Switch 2. But it's fantastic also. Also, the game that got me into the Hitman series, Hitman Absolution, came out today on Switch. Gosh, that's another one tall show. Man, Drew. Jeez. What a good day. Tappy Cat Games. Love the peaches. That's right. Dogs are a must, yes. Dogs better than cats? That's debatable. I love cats and dogs. Pretty much equally. I will slightly give the nod to cats over dogs, but I love them both. They're both just amazing, amazing little animals. Or big animals in some cases, but they're wonderful. Having too many games to play is a wonderful problem to have. Very true. Peach Gale Network is the mascot here, and Mario Gale Network too. That's right. MGN and the alternate PGN. Dag Meme Center X. When the Forget the Summer was starving for calorie games. I mean, summertime for me was still having fun with Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Welcome Tour, Mario Kart World, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Street Fighter 6. Like, I was okay during summer. Yeah. But now is definitely different now. Mario Master saying, let's get more likes. Yeah, that sounds good. We've got 30 people watching right now, by the way. Thank you all for being here. That's pretty cool. One of the neat things to see is that as this channel has been growing, and as we're approaching 7,000 total subscribers, we've kind of reached a new base of live members. We've got 31 people watching now, Not to say that it won't possibly dip into the high 20s or low 20s, but it used to be 22 was kind of like the safe sort of number. Now it's like 30 is the safe number. That's a good 8 more. That's a lot, That's a lot. So thank y'all for being here. Alarmo's going off. It's 12 o'clock. Does the Paul family have their leading game of the year and interesting title yet to drop or happen to be out? I think if I ask my kids, my son's gonna say game of the year so far is Donkey Kong Bonanza. My daughter's gonna say Split Fiction. I think my wife's going to say Split Fiction. I'm going to say Donkey Kong Bonanza or Hades 2, but I will lean towards Bonanza. As I'm playing through Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment now, my son, daughter, and I are really enjoying it a lot, that I could see it could possibly top Bonanza and Split Fiction, respectively, for my son and daughter. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will top Split Fiction for my wife. I don't think it will top it for my daughter in terms of playing, but in watching, maybe. It could end up being my son's game of the year, because after my son and I played Metroid Prime 4 Beyond at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience in Los Angeles, it was both his and my most anticipated game of the show. When we played it, that was his pick. I think he was really drawn and taken aback of like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. This is so smooth. These cinematics are so cool. When I just recently showed them that new like 1.5 minute or so trailer to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, they were both like, whoa. Kirby Air Riders? Could that one take the place for my wife over Split Fiction? Maybe. But I don't know, Split Fiction was so unique. We played through that whole game co-op together. Yeah, I don't know. For me, not to be presumptuous, but I think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be my game of the year. Probably the only title that I unfortunately didn't play and don't think I will before the year is up is Expedition 33. You know, Clair Obscura. Like, I heard so many good things, just didn't play it. So, my opinion, though, pretty justified, pretty valid, pretty strong in what my pick is for game of the year and the rationale behind it, isn't absolute if I didn't play absolutely every game. Then again, does anybody? I don't know. But you got to play some of the top hitters, right? You got to play some of the heavy contenders to really have your opinion be worth a lot. Otherwise, if you only play 3 games and you skip that on the other top several best, do you really have that valid of a thought process into making your game the top one, To you, yeah, but not to everyone else listening. Good question, though. Louis says DK Bonanza for Goaty. Ooh, banana. Still probably the most fun I've had this year was Bonanza. Matt Weeks says, how you doing today, Paul? I'm doing great, thank you. Got some chores done. It's going to rain tonight. I'm hyped for that. Played some Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I have yet to film my shorts, but I will film them soon. I have a few for tomorrow. I would say Silk Song is the goatee. Michael Gutmann. Yeah, good point. I was gonna say Gutmann. I was gonna say that Silk Song is something that kind of like Pokemon Legends ZA only got a couple of hours in, but that's a contender for sure. Most dogs don't like me. They bark and yip and grr at me all the time, and they start jumping on me. Cats don't really bother me as long as I know where they are. All right. Within that time spare, I only had to juggle 2 to 4 games max. Now it's just too much that the less desirable curiosity picks are put on the planner for next year, like Trails, Octopath, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, Hades 2. Oh man, there's so many things. 32 likes we got? Heck yeah. That's some pretty solid stuff right there. Now it's just too much that the less... When the likes eclipse the amount of total viewers currently, that's pretty cool. We've got 30 people watching, 33 likes. It's pretty nice. After I get Age of Imprisonment, Metro Prime 4, and Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, that's the next title you'll get. Nice to hear. Gaming forget to celebrate the small everlasting impacts for drama bait. Drummer Downing, I'm really hoping for Kirby Air Riders. Didn't think I would be. That's awesome to hear, Drummer Downing. I'm glad that after the direct, after the other direct, after the playtest, you're like, dude, I'm on board now. Hopefully more and more people are like you, which I know they are, you know? Do you think it's possible Sega ever either remakes or remasters the first two Sonic Adventure games? I think eventually. Definitely possible. Will they? I mean, ever is a long time, right? You got stuff like Yakuza 3 having a pretty strong remaster coming up. You've got stuff like Streets of Rage 4 coming out, being a new game, but playing much like the past. You see the appeal in Sonic, clearly. You capitalize on the successes of Sonic Adventure and you introduce characters in the movie and music. Live and Let Learn you tie into. You've got Shadow here. You've got different things from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 that have continued to live on many years later. I could see a remake. More than a remaster. A remake. You know what would be good? The approach that they took with the Spyro the Dragon Reignited trilogy or the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. That kind of attention to detail to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 would be really good. Yeah, that would classify as a remake, right? Not necessarily the Resident Evil 4 style where like, oh, okay, everything, but more than just a visual upgrade, you know, port remaster barely. But yeah, remake of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I'm down. I think it'll happen eventually. Prime 4 will also be my goatee, yeah. Sega has stated they're not interested in remaking and remastering the Sonic Adventure titles. They could, however, bring them to GCN NSO, LOL. That's likely. I think we'll play them again in some capacity. NSO, GCN app seems likely, but I still think that eventually they'll do a remake or remaster. At least I would say I would like to see it. It would be cool. Maybe they have future further ambitions to just, nope, we're just chugging along on the new 3D entries and new 2D entries, and we're staying the past is past. Once in a while we'll do a port compilation, maybe a little up-res thing by going on NSO. Yeah, new classic console release. Yeah, we'll put Dreamcast on NSO. That would be cool. I would love to have Dreamcast on NSO, and a wireless freaking Dreamcast controller to play on my Nintendo Switch 2 would be dope. And maybe they really won't ever remaster or remake it. That'd be okay, but I'd like to see it eventually. Isn't there a Streets of Rage 5 in the making? I believe so. What hasn't Mario Kart World gotten any new content? It's so strange. Why hasn't it? Still so big. It's in its infancy. You gotta get as many people on board into the base game. And when you have as many people on board as the base game, then you start saying, here's a new character, here's a new cart, here's a new mode, here's a little bit of free DLC, here's some paid DLC, here's a brand new world, here's a brand new stack of 8 tracks, here's a new mini continent of Zelda, right? Here's a new mini mode where you are going through Mute City and F-Zero, right? Like, Here's a brand new support via Amiibo. Amiibo will unlock costumes for your characters like they did in Mario Kart on Wii U. Mario Kart 8, right? It'll happen. But pull in as many people to the base version as you can first. Reality is the adventure games won't get more attention than Sonic Frontiers. Going back through both games, and they have glaring issues. That visual upgrade won't change at all. Instead, let's do 06 again. Maybe 06. If they did Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, they'd have to do a little bit more than just remake it. You got to add some quality of control. You have to implement second analog stick. You got to do some quality of life features in there. Would it be worth your time and investment? Maybe. But could just going the new Frontiers route end up with bigger, better sales and stuff, and more ambitious boss fights, and just more new? Because the Sonic fans are pretty expansive, but it's an ever-growing group of young fans that would probably enjoy more something new than something old that's made new again, maybe. But the old Sonic heads, if it's their old childhood or early, adulthood games like the adventure titles, bringing them back into their Sonic heyday mindset, maybe they're lapsed Sonic fans that then get back into it, that then they go to like, okay, now that I got what I want, let's try this Frontiers 2, whatever. Possibly. There's a lot that goes on. There's only so much time, development, money, resources, assets, etc. that Sega and anyone's got. But we'll see. Whew, good thoughts. These streams are so fun because the comments are so engaging and it makes me think a lot. And I love hearing what you all think too, Mobile stats. Did you see my tweet? Depends on which tweet, mobile stats. I've seen some. I know I saw one. I think I saw one on Assassin's Creed, if I'm not mistaken, today. Having content doesn't change thing, i.e. Sonic Racing has a lot, but engagement is so vocal. Minority is not translated into market data, which favors MK. It's the damning. Do you want content shortly or late? Yeah. Boom Mini, hi there, by the way. How far are you into Age of Imprisonment now? I want to say chapter 4. I think I was late 3 if I'm not mistaken. I might have hit 4 now. I just finished playing 2. So good. Now one game I definitely don't see Sega remastering is Sonic Heroes, because I don't think they ever want to touch it again. The one with the PS5 games mobile stats. Oh, let's go over on X and check things out. Ooh. Oh, this was one of the topics today, I think, right? I was like, hold on. We talked about Age of Imprisonment with its big sales opening. We talked about Metroid Prime and plenty of other stuff. But look at this. And this is already a couple days old. But so cool. I like how far Link is looking up, which tells me Ganondorf's going to be quite a bit taller, which he should be. His pig Ganon mode. Oh, dang. What if you could build 2 Ganons? I mean, this is the setting from Ocarina of Time's finale against, like, the pig Ganon beast. But what if you could also build a Ganondorf? Oof. And then you have a scenario where it's like the Deku Tree, where you could build the Ocarina of Time one or the Breath of the Wild one. That's a good possibility. If it is indeed that. I'm excited. I'm happy that the rumor was true. So I heard about the Deku Tree Lego a long time ago. I hinted at it. I reported on it. I was right. Awesome. Perfect sources. Then, several months ago, I heard something big is coming from Nintendo and Lego collab about spring 2026. But I wasn't told Zelda or Mario. But when the reports came out a few months ago of seemingly a diorama set of Link versus Ganondorf in like March or April. I was like, dude, I believe it. It's true. Same source of mine before, then led me on to this. I'm like, okay, that's true then. And yeah, here we got it a couple days ago. Boom, we know it. Really, really cool to see. Still pleasantly surprised because I didn't have an image of it. I didn't know 100% certainty. It was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is legit. Oh, I'm at the beginning of chapter 5. I'm loving this game. Excellent to hear, Boo Mini. Sonic Heroes maybe has a better shot, but ultimately, in how the generation of games were made, with dated engines and the physics, true. Alexis does Roblox and Go Animate. Hi, Paul Gale. Today in gaming history, November 9th. November 9th, that's 4 days ago. 2021 Forza Horizon 5 launched for the Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S worldwide. Nice factoid there. Could that music be a sample from Ocarina of Time remake? LOL. Maybe. This Lego set will be $300 minimum. LOL. Oh, jeez. Let's say 230. Let's call it 230. True. Dang Meme Center. The physics engine 100% different than that band. Yeah. Okay, let's do some comments. Okay, someone happened to not agree with Brie Larson being a good choice. Fine, that's your choice. That's your opinion. I think it's good. I think she's good. Just got back from a trip to the mall. Nice. Ghost of Yote. Good choice, Mobile. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. It's a good game, Mobile Stats. Roger Enyart out of nowhere with the tenor. Woo! Poketopia. Is anyone getting that so-called key card? I'm passing on the game. Not my type of game. So, first of all, Roger, big thank you for the awesome, super generous $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Bringing us to 20 today. It's a little bit of a dilemma. Okay, straight up. If the game is awesome, like it is a deep game with a lot of building, really great mechanics, fun, varied, complex, robust physics engine, lots of hours of gameplay, quality top to bottom, voice acting, music, cinematic score, multiplayer mode. I mean, like, it's just got everything, right? It's really, really good. It's worth $70 regardless. Physical, digital, game key card. It's just worth it, right? If it's that good. But if it is that good and that high quality of a game that is going to sell that well because it's amazing, then you'd think you could eat the cost on the cartridge by putting it on cartridge because you know it's going to sell so gangbusters because it's tremendous. But it's only 10 gigs. So why be wasteful of a more expensive cartridge in which you don't need to use up any more than 10 gigs, but you don't have a 16 gig option, only 64. So it's perceived to be so much of a waste, so much of a cutting into the price to justify putting it on a cartridge that's why you went the game key card route and or digital. So there is this toss and turn back and forth. I will have to see more of the game, play the game myself, and then maybe I will buy it, but I don't know. But if I do buy it, I might just go digital because that's kind of like a game like Animal Crossing. Wouldn't I want to have it always on the system instead of something to take in and take out, you know? I don't know. Good question, Roger Enyart. And thank you once again for that awesome 10. We're at 20 now for the day. I appreciate you both and y'all for being here. Oh yeah, that Metroid Prime retrospective book is discounted to $40 on Amazon. Good to know, Tall Show. Did you see my other games Are they any good? I know Red Dead is, but any of the other ones? Let's see. Ghost of Yotei and Tsushima are good. This Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, you got the Steelbook and the regular. Cool. GTA 5 is excellent. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 6. Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition, that's good. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 are both good. 1 is there. Yeah, those are all good games. That's a good, solid grab right there. That's a good trip to the mall. Yeah. Here is the...
Hello, old friend. It's been a long time.
This country is infested with all manner of scum.
Oh, good day, sir. Madam. Look at me, scrambling around, half insane.
Stupid is the word we use around here.
Now I'm in charge.
I apologize if science is not your forte.
I'm a fighter, sir, and I'll fight to the end.
Gonna be a bloody job.
I don't think I know any other kind.
An illiterate gunslinger, you sure know how to make a girl blush.
Enjoy life. Sabir Nostromo.
Good to see. Good to see. Let me see. Let me get back to the chat. Yeah, that just have it pop up. That was fitting. I didn't think any of the Mario casting actors really fit. The actors are fine. I just don't feel like they're right for these specific characters. I mean, we'll see how the movie unfolds, but, you know, so far, judging by that trailer, like, Rosalina sound like how I think Rosalina would sound. And I met Brie Larson once, back at the Super Nintendo World movie, or Super Nintendo World theme park, opening red carpet night, so good for her. I'm happy for her. It's cool. Have you played Dragon Quest Builders? A little bit, yeah. If not, try that first. Key card isn't the problem. The price is, lol. Yeah. I will get it digitally. I like to get the games that I will play off and on for years digitally. Yeah. Against Animal Crossing and Pokemon had a child. Yeah. Haven't seen the extended trailer yet, but I'm sure it was a mega blowout of epic proportions that makes it seem like it'll give GTA 6 a run for its money. Not any, I meant the actors announced recently. Paul watched the trailer. Animal Crossing isn't the correct way to compare it. Think Dragon Quest Builder, which Koei did for Square Enix. You can go to the other islands and play online with 4 other players. Paul, yeah, see, it's a good feature. Steak saying, need to check out the new trailer for Pokopia. Looks like it'll be one where people could easily put 100 hours in. Let's watch the trailer. I'm doing good. Really enjoying Age of Imprisonment. How are you? Also got all of them for $220. That's a good deal for all of those games. Let's watch the trailer so we can blame mobile for GTA 6 delay. Not gathering because they brought 5 into 2025, joking aside. Just got started. Last of Us Part 1, also a good one. Going to eat lunch. All right, let's watch that Pokemon Pokopia trailer.
Create habitats and meet Pokemon. Creating habitats will attract Pokemon. Pokemon with big personalities will appear in the diverse habitats you create. Learn moves from Pokemon. Your new Pokemon friends may teach you their signature moves. Use the moves you learn to refresh the land. Clear paths. Till fields. Grow vegetables. And more. Expanding the places you can visit and what you can achieve. For example, you can transform into Lapras. While Ditto might not start out as the best swimmer, this transformation makes traveling to distant islands a breeze. By transforming into Dragonite, you can reach far-off places in no time. Craft fun things. You can craft at a workbench using the materials you've collected. From furniture and toys to street lights and roads, you can use the items you craft to build a beautiful town or make Pokemon more comfortable as you transform your space into a vibrant place to live. Grant Pokemon's requests. Pokemon can have unique requests for you. You may also find Pokemon who need your help stuck in harsh, desolate areas. And you'll need to work together with other Pokemon to complete particularly important requests. Work together with Pokemon. Your Pokemon friends will help you rebuild your world. They can light campfires, water plants, help crops grow, get light shining, and so much more. If you work together with several Pokemon, you can even build grand houses. So many ways to play. You can capture your memories and add them to your album. Then change up your look. And don't forget to decorate your room. With multiplayer, up to 4 friends can join in the fun. Game Share is also supported, so you can share the game with someone who doesn't own it and play together on Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 systems. Whether solo or with friends, you're free to do whatever you want, from granting Pokemon requests to building
Classic
the
music.
town of your dreams. Set out on an adventure to create a flourishing world where Pokemon live in peace and comfort. What else is waiting for you? Pokemon Pokopia!
You know, I wonder, another route that they could have gone with Pokopia is maybe release it on a Nintendo Switch 1 cartridge, but only playable on Nintendo Switch 2. Could it not have fit on a Nintendo Switch 1 cartridge and not need the extra sophistication that an NS2 cartridge has? And then just, but then you're going to have to upgrade it on Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff like that. I'm like, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. This game gets me mad. Let's get to 40 likes. Pokemon lore gets dark. I like how they're totally disregarding whatever happened to Ditto's trainer. Yeah. Well, Paul, there was basically a post-credits screen from, let me see, after the Ditto rug. No, they wouldn't use a Switch 1 cartridge. Since the only reason they made it a Game Key card is to test the market, they could have put it on a cartridge if they wanted to. I mean, they could have put such a small 10 gigabyte cartridge on a big, massive Nintendo 64 gigabyte cartridge and eaten the cost when they didn't need to, but they could have. I mean, you could argue, though, that if it's a big, grand game that is sophisticated and gonna sell like slobber knockers, that the end would have justified the means and you would have made a lot, but maybe it's not going to be this highly anticipated title that they're seeing sell 15 million and that it might just do 3 million, and then you're losing, $17 per cartridge or something like that on a game that, like, boy, it really could just almost fit on a on a nothing burger of a cart. We just don't have that access. Why take more out of the revenue? And at the end of the day, if it's a good game, it's going to be worth it, however you play it. And if it's not that good, then it's not going to be worth it, Like I said, the entry price is my hiccup, not the medium distribution. I have 3.0 update and Tamagotchi next year. Yeah. A test, since it's a smaller title, they want to see if they could sell mainline games for 70 and Game Key card to make even more money. Yeah. I don't think this game will pass 12 million. I'm predicting closer to 8 million. Yeah. Strongly feel Pocopio would have been digital only, but Game Freak wanted some retail presence. Hence the key card. Drag and Drive would have been the actual case study. Yeah, good point too. Could you imagine? Welcome Tour, Game Key card. Ah. Okay, like Game Key. Okay, like if Welcome Tour was a cartridge, you would have lost money. You wouldn't have been selling it for 10 if it cost $17 to make. Yeah. Drag and Drive, though, selling it for 20 when it's like 16, 17 bucks to make the cartridge and distribute it to the retailers, all that stuff. You're making $1 per title, like, it wouldn't make sense, Yeah. You just end up selling the game for more, 30 or 40. Cool. Well, I think that's gonna do it for chat, folks, for the stream. That's how you lose, buddy. Yeah. Nintendo's got to make money, Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Nice, healthy stream. 24 watching now. Above 30 nearly the whole time. We had 20 in gifted donos. I was going to say memberships. 20 in donations. I appreciate it. Got 5 new members today that joined in. Well, that were gifted by me, but still. Talked sales, watched a couple of trailers. That was fun. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Have fun playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment or anything. Nice emoji drop. Tall show. Looking good. They're looking good. See you all later. I'll be back on tomorrow morning for more. Yeah. Tonight, maybe round 2, possibly. Tomorrow, for sure. See you all later, though. Thank you in advance for liking the videos, / thank you for liking the videos, the shorts and stuff like that. A few of them dropped today. Some more will drop tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Good last final chats. Almost done with ZA. Good. That's cool stuff. Nice progress. All right.